And we're now officially live. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another night of Scum Live. Name's Adam. And the screaming individual that cut out there was Greg. And I don't blame him for screaming, because originally I had no idea which of the two options we were going to do this night. It was either going to be more Robotic Age or Chalt. But thankfully,
chose the worst of both worlds.
yeah, it's the greatest thing, the greatest idea we could have ever had. A fan, we do have those, thankfully, decided to give us a little booklet by the name of Our Traveling Home by Ash Kreider. And
Shout out to you, a fan.
It's a game about happy queer romance and found family, but it looks a little bit more like something I've seen before, although I haven't seen it in a long time. Some hit Japanese movie about a sorcerer and a young girl who was cursed or something.
This is slightly breaking the narrative, but I've actually never seen Howl's Moving Castle, so I have no clue what we're getting into here.
Okay, so already from the cover, the moving castle, it's like a budget version of it. Imsit, more please. That the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie is the worst spin-off of Roger Rabbit I've ever seen. And by I've ever seen, I've not seen at all. I just remember this one horrible clip, which he just referenced. Thank you for getting me in the right mindset.
I want to go back to Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah, I wish it was Looney Tunes Back in Action. Anyway, so our cast of characters includes Howl if he was given brown face and a fade cut. His apprentice, who I don't remember the name of, who's in blackface. Chalcifer, who's in blueface. Turnip Head has decided to steal a fursuit. And hey, look, there's Howl also. And literally, it's the exact same design as the character from the Miyazaki film when he goes full bird.
Thing, but there's just a sort of thing I've noticed when I've come across more modern RPGs, that as in I think maybe pre-2013. The book has a real aversion to making any character that is not outright villainous. There's an intensive aversion to make them unpleasant looking, like conventionally unpleasant looking. And I don't mean things like make them fat, give them give them things like things that no one finds attractive, like not even the things like with the weird snarls, like gaunt features, like a bunch of other like things that just are not just generally considered attractive by any metric, even among more accepting crowds.
Well, you don't understand. The people who are gaunt or extremely fat or have a weird smile, they can scream at you online on this little thing called the bird. And if they scream at you online, you got to take it down because you got to feel bad because social pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this feels kind of like a person's Netflix pitch. Like if they managed to corner Studio Ghibli into making a live action remake akin to Death Note. It kind of has that vibe. So let's actually get into this.
Already got warning signs. Well, I was just saying that the third page, which because it's not even saying anything, it's just powered by the apocalypse. Fucking hell.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Our Traveling Home is powered by the apocalypse, a system created by D. Vincent Baker and Megan E. Baker.
So you can blame them for this.
It started as a hack of Stewpot. The fuck is Stewpot?
A Japanese tabletop RPG. So what this tells me, and that actually makes a point, Japanese tabletop gaming is very different. It's a lot more slice of life, and it's done in a completely different style.
They made RPG. What do you expect?
So this person who made this did not make a single creative decision themselves. The design of the setting, not created at all. The mechanics, not theirs. The basic concept, not theirs. Reminder that this actually made its Kickstarter goal.
What was the Kickstarter goal?
I think it was only like 10,000. I'd have to look on it later, and I'll actually not posthumously, as this is a live stream, but I will put in the comments. Oh, Woodworm! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this particular table of art here with the dead Colossus, because this, I don't know
Uh,
what Studio Ghibli film they're ripping off with that dead thing, but it's ripping something off.
I
They're,
cannot see what the initial asking was, but they asked for $13,300 and they received $22,776.
yeah. By the way, if you're actually publishing a book physically, you're gonna need more than that. But I'm pretty sure this is just a PDF.
Yeah, they were never. I doubt they ever expected to make it paperback.
So here's what the map setting looks like, and there's a little bit of effort here. I'm putting a little bit. So the world of our traveling home. Our traveling home takes place in a magic punk setting. Uh, okay. Think steampunk, but with technological marvels powered by magic instead of steam. You know,
And without
that's
the
called
racism,
that's called our I call it arcanotech when you do that. Or
that's arcane.
magitech. Magitech is actually a term.
Yeah, but they don't want to. But they want. But also without the racism or British and colonialism.
You know, that's kind of one of the things that you deal with if you're doing a steampunk setting, because steampunk implies that the cultural mores of the 19th century never fucking went away.
Also, it wasn't that didn't that stigma come around because actually some of the first steampunk actually came out in that era?
Well,
Or
I
am I
mean, if you
misremembering
count
things?
the works of Jules Verne, sure.
Hmm? Where a world where magical marvels are commonplace and in which the both great and cosmopolitan cities and vast dangerous wildlands.
Oh, this is the stuff that he has to come up with, since you can't just rip off everything Studio Ghibli because there's not enough to rip off from. And so it drives already into the ditch at once. Yeah, it's because they can't have conflict because it makes the sad brains too angry. Like, you can't have things as awful as imperialistic colonizers who treat the natives like trash that you can fight back against. They can't. Because while they can be described as being bad, they can't actually have the ambition or power to be threatening. That's one of the biggest problems with villain writing nowadays. You can't actually make them threatening anymore. Yeah, sure, they're still fated to lose, but they have to have has succeeded in some way. Look, what I'm trying to say is that the people who wrote Shrek 4 actually know how to write stories better than these people. That's the one with Rumpelstiltskin. So anyway, the Enzelian Empire. Enzelia is a vast and highly cosmopolitan empire spanning much of the continent. It prides itself on having a sophisticated and modern society, in which magical conveniences like airship travel are available to even the least of its citizens. Enzelia is nominally ruled by the Emperor, but the true machinery of government is controlled by the sprawling magical civil service. This is
Wait,
them
how is
ripping off. Go on.
wait? Why is there an intensely authoritarian system in there that's supposed to be in their happy safe place?
This is what happens when you rip off Howl's Moving Castle. There is a character in the anime. I have not read the book. There's a book and a sequel. I've never read it. The Diopsid had, but he's not. He's busy playing with his cat. But essentially, there's a character in the movie called Suleiman, who is kind of the kingdom's right hand guy when it comes to mystical might and has a lot of authority. This is just the writer ripping that off. The entire government structure is basically the whatever kingdom that the original movie takes place in. Because, coming up with your own system of governance, coming up with how the magical civil service works, fuck that, man. We don't got time for that.
Hmm. Magical talent is not uncommon in Enzelia, but in order to legally practice magic, you must have a licensed graduate of a registered wizard
Which
college.
I think
Um,
is partially. I think that is a thing. I Again, I have not seen the movie in a while. I had to brush myself up a little bit using the movie Bob approach. I read the Wikipedia article and it came back to me a bit. But I think that's actually why the character of Hal was considered. Basically, he didn't do that, and that's why it was considered a wild card.
Yeah, unlicensed wizards must either evade inspectors by hiding in the poor slums or escaping in the wild. Anzalia sees itself as the rightful governing force on the continent and teaches its citizens from a young age that it is their duty to aid in the expansion of Anzalia's borders so that all people can benefit from living in a truly enlightened
By
society.
the way, that paragraph is about 3 after, but without the British colonialism.
Yeah,
So,
well,
not even a
they're leaving
page.
enough room. They leave enough. They act like they're leaving the room by saying like the Empire teaches, but like there's no counterpoint.
So, not even an essay. This is less than an essay's worth of work. And the writer, because they stole from Howl's Moving Castle, has already refuted their mission statement.
hmm Republic of Dorgan. No, remember, the Anzalian Empire is cosmopolitan, so it's not white imperialism. It's ethno multicultural imperialism.
I guess they forgot that the British also had a lot of other white people under their control.
And the fact, I would also say that in some places, like in India, they just let the princes do what they want.
Oh yeah. So the Republic of Dorgan, as you mentioned. Dorgan's a small democratic republic that has long existed in the shadow of the Anzelian Empire. There are a couple of large cities, but much of Dorgan is rural and agrarian. Magical talent is very uncommon in Dorgan, and magicians heavily stigmatized. With the growing threat of war, many Dorgans fear magicians as potential spies. White man burden much? Well, I mean, kind of, yeah, but I also kind of find it. There's a topic that since they decided to give every one of these characters brown face that I have issues with. I always call whenever you race change a character like that, giving them the white man sloppy seconds. Or in this case, giving them the Japanese man sloppy seconds. Because rather than actually create a fun role for an African American or a black person, they just steal another person's. That's like the equivalent of how during segregation, the all black schools got the used books. That's kind of the same vibe I get whenever I see that.
The wilds are a place of untrammable beauty, wondrous magic, and terrifying danger.
This is
The
how I can
magical
rip off all the other Studio Ghibli movies.
Magical current, Princess Mononoke. Magical currents in the wilds run deep, and these unpredictable currents cause a number of unpredictable hazards. The wilds are often rife with feral wizards, demons, and other magic. Why are they feral? There are a few
Well, you
settlements near
see,
the
they
edges of.
were raised by the demons, and they don't have a human concept of language, and they run around in the woods naked, just fling fireball.
That might be the actual reason. There are a few settlements near the edge of the wilds, but largely uncharted, made by either Dorgan or Anzalia.
You'd think that the giant empire that constantly seeks to expand land would try to, you know, do charted expeditions into the wild to maybe settle places that are relatively safe for their people, to deal with the
Why do that?
population problems maybe they have in the inner cities.
Why do that when you could just take over apparently irrelevant stand? Because from the way they ranked it, Republic of Dorgan is essentially irrelevant.
Oh, if you're wondering why it's irrelevant, this war, this is him ripping off the war that takes place during Howl's Moving Castle. Again, I have to constantly keep referencing to this anime movie because the writer is uncreative.
Looming
Essentially,
war.
the plot line of Howl's Moving Castle is there's a looming war between two kingdoms, and that's because the prince of the heir of the kingdom of the other kingdom went missing. And it is believed by that kingdom that it was potentially sorcery from the other kingdom that did it, so they're both spooling up to fight each other. I'm not going to spoil what happens to that prince, but let's just say that he's fine.
Also, in this case, the things are pronounced because the way you make it makes it sound like one has the. In this case, one definitely has the clear advantage over the other.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. You have a gigantic Magitech empire with airships and powerful mages, and the other is an Ooga Booga
Bumkumpkin.
republic
Bumkumpkin.
of
Yeah, Bumkumpkin.
farmers.
Who reject magic.
Yeah. Also, he spelled Dorkin wrong. This is your own
In
setting.
his
You
own
can't
thing.
even be bothered. Remember, this got money. $20,000.
Where did he misspell it? Oh,
Uh,
I see it. Dorgan.
yep.
Yeah.
Dorgan.
Dorgan, yeah, you see, the Dorgan has long dissolved all of its neighbors in common, blah blah blah. Blankly catastrophic campaign to conquer the wilds. Oh, that yeah, they did that. Apparently, they tried. It didn't work.
Oh, this is
Uh,
them splicing Mononoke to give a little more of
mhm.
something to do.
The leaders have decided to instead, annex irrelevant stand Dorgan. Dorgan, unrelated to Dorgan, but Dorgan has been considered too much of a backwater to be worth the effort of war. But the current emperor, however, dreams of a unified Anzalian empire stretching from sea to sea. If the expansion through the wilds is an option, then Dorgan gets the shit.
Which
Also,
again,
as a minor thing,
hmm?
I think I said something we skipped over, but with the Anzalian Empire, the wizard, who is one of the uh, roles that we're going to get into, he's always from Anzalia. He can't be from anywhere else. They
Well, yeah,
mentioned that.
I mean, because plot-wise, Hal was a wizard who basically made a stupid pact with a demon. It comes to fuck him partially.
Introduction.
So what is this game about? Our Traveling Home is a game about queer romance, found family, and finding healing through belonging. During play, you will tell stories about a collection of oddballs and misfits trying to make their new chosen family work in the face of opposition from the outside world that is trying to tear them apart. But while the stakes are high, this game will always have a happy ending. Because, tragedies, can't have that with the sad brains.
The queer romance will resolve happily, and everyone in the family will be able to get together happy ever after. Was that how? The, you don't have to spoil, but just saying, like, did everything get? Was there?
They're Japanese. Do you think they'd really have a gay-on-gay relationship?
No, I didn't mean gay on gay, but from the way you make it sound, it's like essentially, was that like the whole thing
It
of trying
does
to tear them
end on a
apart?
happy. It does end on a
No, I know.
happy
I don't
ending.
mean being happy. I don't mean being happy, but was the whole thing about trying to tear a found family apart, or
Not really.
so? This is a complete. So it's a new plot inserted into the plot of another plot.
The plot of Howl's Moving Castle is pretty simple. A girl gets cursed, right? She
At
gets
least know
cursed
that
by a
one.
powerful witch,
Gets turned to
and
an old lady.
hmm and
I know
she,
that one.
in desperation, has to find a way to. I think it was to pay back debts that was the problem. So she tries to find work as a housekeeper, or to try to fix the curse. She looks for a wizard, and she comes across this very eccentric but exiled wizard because of his reckless behavior named Howl, and she works as his housekeeper.
Nice.
Let's just
And
say it does end. It does end happily for them.
mm-hmm.
There's a
Uh,
lot of
but,
hardship, and
but
at one point, there's the super downfall period where you think everything is fucked.
yeah, but I was just saying, like, was this about I wasn't asking for spoilers, but I was asking, like, was this about a found family in the world trying to tear them apart?
I mean, you can interpret it that way, arguably, kind of,
Yeah,
because
so
it does try to escape the problems of the real world. That's an element of the movie.
so as Obi-Wan once said, it's true from a certain point of view.
Yep. Why are the sentences written this way? It just keeps messing with me. Not even the whole ripping off is bothering me as much. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is what happens when you don't actually reread your work. It's a
But
similar problem actually with Derek's work.
now we get into the meat or the meat and bones, or in this case, just the meat, because as you can see, there is no bone. There are no bones here.
Well, you have to be
Uh,
completely boneless to play.
no, no. I mean, like in the literal sense, there are no bones and structure to this game. Because look, our traveling home is GM-less.
Oh
Every
boy,
player will have and play their own character, but you need a
that's a
facilitator.
GM. You lying hacks. You babies. Are you that traumatized from the old AD&D days that you've never had to experience or deal with? That you're just so scared that there is this rule arbitrator man who might sometimes throw a bad result your way because you acted stupid or you decided to roll and it didn't turn out well.
Or you got a weirdo with a magical realm.
Like it happens. Just own up and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just kick him out. Not
But
that
yeah, the
hard.
difference from the way it seems here, the difference between a GM and a facilitator is the facilitator only has the power to flip through the storybook and drag you there. He's literally he really railroads you, but he can't actually make up anything.
If they're trying to recreate Critical Role here, did they not know that Matt Mercer kind of agrees with the people he plays with to script out the D&D campaign? Because
And
those
even then,
campaigns are completely scripted. The only difference is the dice rolls sometimes force them to do rewrites in the middle to get to the next plot point.
Yeah. Which is better than just faking the whole thing. Definitely a lot better than faking it all. But anyway, need 3 or 4 players.
It's designed for 5, including the facilitator, but can run with 4.
Two 6
The powered
dice.
by the apocalypse dice.
Well, technically, you don't even need 2d6. You could just have 1 and just roll it twice.
Wait, there's rules for mini games, huh? So you have to get the other book filled with
Oh, by the way,
minigames.
look, play the materials. You can download this as IRL.
Yeah, here you go. By the way, there's no actual link to it in the PDF. Quality.
Do you also like how, it's just me, but do you like how they did it in such a way that it was just long enough that it had to get brought down to lower level?
Yeah, it's very professional. I love it.
So if someone got like maybe a bad PDF where they couldn't actually like do this and just write, select, and click, they'd have to type out that entire thing very awkwardly.
Of course they would. So the playbooks serve as both a character sheet and record of events in play. You'll use the playbooks to create characters as well. You can't create shit. These are like all pre-gens. Asshole.
Also, why the hell is there a need to go to another thing to get stuff when you should put them in the main book?
Because money. I need more money.
Do you have to pay for it? Because if it's free, then there literally is no reason.
Oh no, you have to pay. I think it's $25 for both of them.
By the way, I just tried the link. It leads to nowhere. Error. Unable to find URL to direct to. Please check that the URL you entered is correct. To learn more about tinyurl.com, please visit our homepage.
They can't even get the link right, and it's been out for less than 2 years.
And I'm like, I'm checking. I'm not checking. There's no errors in like this URL here, so I did it exactly as it was intended.
So, for those wondering, this is why you don't put your URL into your playbook.
Oh wait, I did something. I don't know what it is, but I finally got it. And yeah, apparently it's free. Why is there a second PDF that's free that they just didn't put on the main PDF? Why?
That's a good question, especially since this book costs like $25.
Why? It's just pointless.
I could be wrong. It might be 15, but it costs double-digit money for this book.
Pointless. Why is there just a second PDF?
Because anyway, so this game may be different from other games you've played. If you're a veteran of story-focused role-playing games, feel free to skip to page 15. However, if you're new to role-playing games or only have experience with games with complex rules like D&D, you consider D&D hard?
No, they consider it complex.
You consider D&D rules complex? Oh, you poor motherfucker. I can't stop laughing. D&D is too hard for them.
Role-playing games or I just realized, what the fuck would they think of Vampire the Masquerade?
That might be too complex for them too. We don't know.
But it's a difference here. It's a role-playing complex rules game.
I would love to see them struggle to play a fucking ST game. That sounds amazing.
Okay,
I wonder how many times they'd screw up the dice pool.
Role-playing games are a conversation between you and the other players, where the goal is to create your story together.
Not really. You can do that. In fact, actually, some really fun games can be done with a collaborative setting that you guys come up with that you then run games in.
Mm-hmm.
That can be pretty fun.
Problem is, there's got to be some center to it. That's why the DM.
Well, what happens is you collaborate in building the homebrew setting, and then the GM takes you on your wild ride.
But there needs to be a center.
Oh yeah, rifts would cause them to explode. To give you an idea, Fantasy Flight game Star Wars would cause them to explode. To give you an idea, Imsit and Woodworm, I think even New World of Darkness, which is even simpler to understand than Old World in some ways, would make their heads hurt.
What are blood points?
Oh, if you wanted to see their heads explode scanner style, just tell them to make a character out of the fatal system.
I think they just get offended and leave.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to give you an idea, they'd be offended if you just showed up saying like, "Hey, here's my Brujah character," and they find out that you're like some white guy and you're just happening to play a Mexican bandito that got embraced during the Mexican Revolution.
Anyway,
They would throw a tantrum over just something as simple as that.
Hey, Adam. Apparently, running this game is just like running this podcast because just like any conversation, we all have to take turns speaking.
Oh no, someone showed up. Who dis?
Oh, it's a Gundam.
Hello. I got back from my trip from Portugal, and I got beaten up. They stole my man purse.
Oh, you got beaten up by that North Englishman that I sent over there?
Yeah, I got beaten up by him.
You know, the funny thing was, he wasn't even supposed to run into you.
Oh.
It was just a quirk of fate. Anyway, when last we left off, we're talking about how role-playing games are just where you talk at each other.
I heard about this. It's apparently a ripoff of a Ghibli movie I haven't seen.
It's actually a ripoff of 2, from what I'm guessing.
I've only seen Mononoke.
Well, that's where the Wilds are a ripoff of. You know how like there's a lot of powerful spirit bullshit in the Wilds, and like the bad guys try to destroy it.
It's not all Ghibli movies, to be fair, though.
Yeah, but like that's the one where like the bad guys try to deforest the land.
I mean, there was that Ghibli movie about children dying of their burns after the horrors of the firebombs.
Oh yeah, fireflies. Yeah, that's a nightmare.
What page are we at?
Page 12.
Page 12.
Oh, then you're gonna love page 14 when that gets.
We know we are. We're gonna love it all. Anyway, I just need to finish the point. There are no rules. However, the rules in this game are very open-ended. I missed the rules. The rules will also help to make you the rules here. The rules that will help you make decisions on how the story develops. But the rules are flexible. There are no skills or spells. If you think it makes sense for your character to be able to do it, then you do it. It's not then ask if you can do it. Then you do it.
All right, so we learned the rules. All right, so we learned that the rules are hetero-flexible.
Many of the prompts in this game establish the situation, then ask what you're doing. If you're having trouble, each character has marks, fictional moments to aim for moments to aim for that are intended as a guide. Great English.
Yeah, it's this is what happens when you don't beta read. You don't have a beta read your stuff. By the way, do you like the bordering being you know those really like small books designed for toddlers, like the golden books? Doesn't it look like that?
Yeah. Also, I say, I mean that is technically correct English, but it's not easy to read correct English.
You know, another thing that sucks. Look, it's off center. It's off center.
I know. By the way, Biggie, did you also know that for some reason there's a PDF that's connected to this PDF that is for some reason not on this PDF?
And it's on another website compared to where you actually buy this PDF from.
Yeah, and for the first time I tried it, the link didn't even work. It was only after like some jiggery.
I get it now. This game was supposed to emulate the feeling of Eldritch Madness. It all makes sense now, guys.
Anyway,
oh, sweet, horrors beyond my world comprehension. I love it.
It's a PDF was inside a PDF was inside a PDF.
Anyway, each playbook comes with suggestions for actions you can take if you're stuck. So essentially, if you cannot actually even think, it's not even you can't fight your way. It's not that your character's not ready or whether it's just the player is just unable to comprehend what to do here.
You just give them 2d6s. They're like, brr,
No. You can literally do a phone call. You can do a Jeopardy-esque phone call.
You have to phone a friend to figure out how to roll 2d6. D&D is hard.
Bet you wish you had this roll, Biggie.
D&D is too hard.
If you're feeling anxious about playing this type of game, remember, there aren't any wrong answers. So long as you just answer the questions in a fun way, you're fine.
Yeah, I have fun. I always answer every question in a fun way. And look at the amazing stories we made together, Greg. Remember?
Except for that time you literally said, "Help me! I can't think of an answer."
Was that when he took 8 hours to make a barbarian?
Are we seriously bringing this back up? For whatever reason, I can make a 5e character good, but it was 3rd edition that I struggled with for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Oh, don't worry. My biggest sin is I always forget to set up feats or forget to boost skills. So by the end of it, my character's fighting like half the level it should.
I'm a master of 3.5.
Facilitator instructions and examples.
There's no GM, but there is a facilitator which does all of the job that a GM does, but without the authority.
They are the narrator. They are the narrator. They're not even like, they're not the god. They're just the narrator. They flip the pages of.
Only dummies go with the GM as god. Here's how I always saw GMs. They're the fucking referee. Because you know how in sports games there's always that one jackass that'll cheat on one team. The point of a GM is to point at them and go, "No, don't do that." And if they keep doing it, then you kick them out.
Well, they're also there to also just be everyone else that is not you.
Oh yeah, there's more to it than that. But I don't like the GM as god concept. I always went with they're more the rules guy.
Anyway, however, these rules are not secret, and if other players wish to read up and familiarize themselves with structure play, they are welcome to do so.
I don't think this person's ever played an RPG, if this is like their understanding of GMs.
Throughout the text, examples will be provided of both play and conversations surrounding said play. To avoid confusion, the examples we refer to will give you a consistent cast of characters. Rhyme the Wizard, they, them, played by Ash, also a they, them. Vixel the Demon, a they, them, played by Willie, he, him.
At least demons make sense.
Swellow the Monster, played by Sophie, both are she. Well, one she, they, one she, her. Which I guess makes sense because Swellow the Monster is literally a blob of water.
See, you can't make fun of us because here's the thing that we use to get the people who like people who have their same physical structures to jump in front of us and take the insults and then punch back at you. Be our human shields, gay people, so that we can make garbage and you will clap.
Abel the child, a hermaphrodite, because it's a she, they, and he.
No, this is all gender fluid garbage. The only person here that actually has the fucking privilege of making sense is the demon, because demons are just like they're not remote.
Well, what about the water monster?
That's the demon, because that's the Chalcifer ripoff.
I thought that was Swallow the Monster.
No, I think that's supposed to be.
We will find later, and then finally Eris the Curse, who is just played by Jeremy.
Wait, if there's a cursed.
And gender.
God, that's supposed to be the girl, the cursed.
Maybe. But gender.
There is another person who you could attribute to being cursed, but I ain't telling that one. That's a big spoiler.
All playbooks have 9 binary options, and some of them require playing a non-binary gender.
That sounds
This
terrible.
is because our traveling home uses gender as another aspect of the world building to help players define.
What world building? You just ripped off Howl's Moving Castle and stapled it onto the Mononoke setting.
In this world, demon and witch are both valid genders.
No. Okay, so I am Gorthithal, the devil of the 9th level. You will respect my fucking pronouns.
Well, fuck it. Somebody has to make it. In 2022, I identify as an attack helicopter. It's Jalad.
Why do these characters' names sound familiar? I don't know, but I know that the Birdman monster thing is named after a Pokemon.
Anyway. Speaking of that, if the monster is a demon gender, what is? Demon. If monster is demon gender, what is? Wait, what? And the demon thinks gender. This isn't even like I'm not trying to be cute. Like I'm actually just a little confused. Like, wait, how is the monster demon gender, but not the demon is not demon gender? I'm just.
Greg, it's 2022. They can identify as whatever the fuck they want, you asshole.
So if you want to identify as an empty soda bottle, you can be an empty soda bottle.
Well,
you see, what happened is they are using non-binary and gay people as human shields by introducing this without actually understanding or caring about that.
Wait a minute.
You guys, there's a simple fact we're not taking into account here.
To bring this back, so this is essentially like if a human tried to identify as an orc.
Yeah, I think that's about as close as you can get.
Guys, there's one simple answer here. Mental illness. That's what the problem is. That's why this is all so confusing to us.
No, actually, no. Wait, wouldn't a more accurate answer be if a human tried to identify as an illithid? Because orcs have two different biological, two different biological forms, while the illithids have their one.
Oh, you're going with the D&D orcs. I thought you were going to go with the Warhammer orcs, which would have made more sense.
No. I'm going with D&D because that's the one they keep fucking using.
Okay, yeah, illithid would make more sense. Any specific types of magical beholder's a perfect one.
Because beholder is literally their gender, race, everything.
How can you play as non-binary when there's no mannerism to that gender identity? There isn't. It's just an excuse for people to pretend they're more special than they really are.
Anyway, for characters unfamiliar with these terms, cis.
We really have to go over this.
I'm seeing if they have any quote unquote interesting interpretations. Sure, trans is trans. It's nothing. Yeah, you don't identify. Gender fluid. Your identity changes. You can
basically
be anything.
This is for the girl who wants extra attention on her TikTok, so she'll pretend to be a guy while still dressing like a girl.
Non-binary.
I'm just pointing out that that's.
Non-binary does not mean a third gender that falls somewhere in between. It is in fact just off the constellation.
It basically is just this is when you rock up going, yeah, I actually identify as an attack helicopter.
All right, it's my turn. I'm going to skip the 14 now because fuck this.
Yeah.
All right.
It is it's page 14 in the PDF.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh, no, we should read a little bit because it's stupid.
All right, if you want.
You should at least read the thing in the underlines. This game is not for turf, fascist, or bigots.
No, that's what I was going to say. Damn it, you ruined my line. You stole my thunder.
You said you were going to skip page 14, though.
No, I said I wanted to read, you asshole.
Well, do
you ruined everything.
Oh no! Wait! We should honor this. As Bicky flat out said, he has trouble reading, so let's let him. Let's let him do it.
If you're someone with a binary gender, I mean you're a man.
I like how he gets super quiet right when he's about to read.
Can you not hear me?
Now
you cut out. Yeah, it's almost like you don't want to read this.
No, I do. It's just my audio's fucking up. Hacks of God are fucking with me here. If you're someone with a binary gender, meaning you're a man, woman, either cis or trans, you may feel uncomfortable playing a character that is non-binary because you worry about screwing up. No! Why would you... This is a role-playing game! You're doing this because you never are these things in real life. Why would I be nervous?
Because you're playing with psychotic people who will throw a baby tantrum if you screw up slightly, probably.
Cheers are very common, but you shouldn't let them stop you from exploring a new point of view, rather than fixating on the correct way to play a character with gender that is the same as yours. Simply play your character according to the background and the motive you create during character and the world, and the rest will take care of itself.
Thus disproving that non-binary. Thus disproving just with that, they disproved non-binary being an actual thing.
This game is not for turfs, fascists, or bigots.
Yeah, but wait, why can't you play one of them? Because that teaches you their awful point of view, doesn't it?
You see, much like the followers of chaos, we have ruined this holy artifact, and it is now for our own devices.
Also, wait a minute. I thought by their own definition, a turf wouldn't a turf already qualify as a bigot?
Basically.
Then why do they need to spell it out?
So, rather than fixating on the correct way of playing a character, or exploring new points of view, you can't explore new points of view if it disagrees with the writer.
Yeah.
See, right, you have to understand, turfs hold a special place in trannies' heart, too, because turfs tell trannies no.
They're feminists.
That's why they're all angry, because the quote-unquote...
I know what turfs are. They're feminists.
No, it doesn't... One doesn't even have to identify as a turf. It could just be a woman that says, fuck off until I don't have sex with you, and they get really, really mad.
Yeah. One of my favorites is that they are still screaming about J.K. Rowling when, you know what the awful thing she said was? This is all she said. I rather think that transsexuals should not be in a place where there's only women. There should be spaces where women can actually be safe by themselves. That's literally it.
All right, so
if you are committed to the hatred of group, will come out the aspects games now for you. Safety.
All right, no wait, hold on, you fucker. I still got a little bit. If you've gotten this far, it should be clear that our traveling home is designed to center stories of queerness. And what does that word even mean? It means nothing to me.
It means the original meaning, which these dummies don't understand whenever they proudly say it, was strange. The reason it was used as a slur is because they're basically saying you're fucking not right in the head if you like taking it in the ass from another man.
Yeah, and then it got reclaimed like the word that
reclaimed. Honestly, when they talk about their own allies, they sound more like my great grandpa than actually supporters.
I still like how it's okay to say. Well, I mean, not even I just kind of realized it's okay to say one reclaimed word, but it's not okay to say the other reclaimed word.
Don't worry, guys.
At least without getting this video immediately just taken off the web.
But don't worry, thanks to Ron DeSantis, they can no longer say gay, so we should be good at that. Now we just need to say the "Don't Say Queer" bill, then it'll take all care of itself.
I don't even know.
All right, there can
be no queer liberation without racial justice or justice.
You know, black people actually are the ones responsible for the largest hate crimes against gay people out of all of the other ethnicities, other than Hispanic combined.
Don't tell them that.
You got that's one of the funny doublethink moments you got to include.
Or neurodivergent people, yada yada. If you don't like our politics, don't read my book. That's literally what the last.
No, I'm making fun of it.
No, I'm saying that's what the last part is. If you don't like my politics, don't read my book.
Well, I'm gonna read it anyway. Screw you, fan fiction writer who has the emotional capacity of a 13-year-old girl.
We found your book in the dumpster, and now we're gonna do to it what we please.
Actually, what happened was a fan gave it to me. In a deal in a back alley in a bathhouse.
In a meth deal gone wrong.
Yeah, it was the aftermath of a meth deal gone wrong in the Turkish bathhouse, and a fan gave this to me as I was getting my shit rocked in.
Instead of getting shot, you had to review this, which in this case I think I would have rather just gotten shot.
The stories of our traveling home will necessitate a happy ending, but there are also things that might make your players uncomfortable or emotionally unsafe.
See, we're assuming that you're playing with psychotic people who throw emotional mental meltdowns at just seeing a Toblerone, so, you know, here you go.
Oh my God, are they gonna suggest the idea of having the X card? Oh my God,
we read ahead and look. If we point to remember, the safety of your players is the most important. If there is something in the rules that will create fiction that makes your player uncomfortable, then change the rules. What's most important is that everyone has fun and emotionally satisfying.
Speaking of emotionally satisfying, Imset makes a good point. Queer, in their definition, is anything outside of societal norms. On an unrelated topic, isn't there a child in this party? Yes, there is a small child that is hanging around with these queer individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that awful things will happen. That's...
Oh, don't forget, I think they're also queer. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Look, I'm not saying that awful things are going to happen and that the people who should be reported to the Enzalian Empire for the crimes against humanity they're doing. But...
And to that end, you should play this book with at least one emotional safety tool in case that they need to introduce and explain the concept of an emotional safety tool to a player. You may already have a definition you like, but you are welcome to use the explanation I use when I am running games for people like previously. I'm not going to read that out.
So here's my question. Why don't you just ask people before you play, okay, so what are some things that you genuinely can't deal with? Like,
rape. When
you sit down with your party, like before the game even begins, you say rape, Biggs? Okay. Rape. I would also agree. I don't want to see rape in my games. Horrible clown rape is not something I want.
I don't want rape to happen out of character and in character.
Exactly. So we're sitting down like normal humans.
Fun little fact, did you know if you play a World of Darkness game, there's a 50% chance you will be raped either in character or out of character.
Only if you're playing Werewolf the Apocalypse, though. With vampires, it's more like 1 out of 4.
With Mage, it's significantly reduced. Actually, no, if it's anything past Changeling, Werewolf, and Vampire, the chance is significantly reduced. Mostly because the LARPers for that group are all significantly
Well, actually, with Changeling, you're more likely to have the character get raped than actually play a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The chance of rape in general just drops significantly the second you leave those three.
Again, it can be in character or out of character.
Imsit, I don't want to see Chalt in the games. See, what we've done is what every one of these people who have these X card ideas and flag systems failed to do. We talked it out before we got further into something. Before we even started, we talked it out and we have collectively agreed that we don't want to see Chalt in our games.
Which is also why the second episode is taking
cat milk.
It's time. Anyway, do we actually want to lead the explanation, or can we just go on?
Tools for online play. Let's not.
No. The explanation that he uses when running a game, or they. I don't know who wrote this.
Yeah.
Some guy.
No safety tools, a one size fits all. Blah blah blah. Online play, which I'm gonna be honest, considering this book's a PDF, it's probably going to be online play.
So these are all for meat space, and then they just arbitrarily put it in online play? That kind of sounds weird, doesn't it? Like, this is, I think, a solely PDF book. Oh, wait, no, I think there are hard copies, but there's not a lot.
The affordance of many common safety tools are not ideal for online play. They often rely on visual signals, which make the tool inaccessible to people who play with the camera off for reasons of anxiety or... Motherfucker, right? Motherfucker, play through voice chat and just send the guy like a PM just saying like, hey, no, I don't want to do that. Please stop.
But that requires actually opening communication and using that socialization aspect of the human brain that these people have clearly let atrophy.
People also like be juggling multiple tabs. Which, oh boy, yes.
I mean, so hey viewers, do you want to do? Let's do a little impromptu contest. You guys can't guess. Although you can guess because I've changed the number of tabs I have open. How many tabs does Adam currently have on right now?
2.
2? All right.
Less than me.
That's a very good estimate. So, viewers, how many do you think I have?
You're desperate not to talk about this fucking game, are you?
No, I'm just playing a little interactive game. I just want to see how many tabs these people
brought up tabs.
There's more interactivity in this game than in the game we're reading about right now.
4? You think I have 4 tabs? Okay. At the time of recording this, I have about 900 open.
Oh my god.
I am a brutal tab hoarder. You know what I can still do despite having all of those tabs? 69's a pretty good one. I'm a brutal tab hoarder, but you know what I can still do despite that? Respond to people that I'm in a voice chat with very casually.
It gives a little ping.
I like how everyone's an order of magnitude or more off. It's pretty cute.
Also, by the way, Adam, I was right.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was right.
Oh, well, you see, I actually made a point to do some spring cleaning. It originally was closer to 1200.
Anyway, modify the rules for challenges. Let's not is a phrase that a player can use whenever... Okay, you know, that makes sense. Just say, like, can we not do this?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. That's fair.
But some people would also call this common sense.
But no, what it seems to be implying here is, too, because, like, there's a scene where it says, okay, the officer kicked your fucking dog. And it said, let's not kick the dog. So really, if you think about it, if I get stabbed in character and I take damage, I can just say to the GM, let's not. I can avoid any and all consequence by doing that little phrase.
And that's one of the negative side effects of the let's not. Because all this example and the next one lower, I did a quick skim, unfortunately. This is in response to things coming up. Because God forbid you decide to talk things out beforehand.
Then again, I will say I will be the most fair thing and say as a GM, there have been some occasions where we talked things out, you know, brought up some minor things, like not fucking safety things, but just like, okay, this is what's going to be the game's about. You're all cool with this? All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then some things happened that, for reasons that I'm not going to get into, certain players did not like that in very personal ways, and we just had to adjust that because they hadn't it was minor if they hadn't expected it, or maybe they just didn't realize how much they didn't like it.
To give you an idea, viewers, this has happened once over the course of gaming as a group for years. It's rare, and it does happen, but not to the point where you need multiple tools to get to deal with it. It's very simple. You talk it through beforehand, and then if something gets really skeevy and to the point where you literally are gonna vomit, just say, hey, please don't do this anymore.
GM, I would not like to sit through this ERP between a Keeper of Secrets and a Flag Bearer.
No. Once finished talking, other players should discuss how to handle the challenging content that comes in a way that respects the player's needs. And we're not doing that example because it's gonna be cringe. I just know it's gonna be cringe.
Probably.
Yeah. And we want to get through this book and not die. Let's check in. It's a phrase that players can use. Jesus Christ! The thing on player safety was longer than the lore.
It is. It's almost like the lore is literally just Howl's Moving Castle stapled onto Princess Mononoke.
It's a phrase that players can use to pause the game. Players can use this thing when they want to check in how they're feeling. It's literally, it's the thing I ask everyone at the end of the session. So, what'd you think?
It's almost like you only need one or two of these tools, and that the best tool is to just talk about it beforehand. Let's not as appropriate regarding this book. Yes, Pagan Pilot, you're spot on. Woodworm, that would demand forethought, and these people are barely capable of polysyllabic cogitation. Oh, you confused them, Woodworm.
Also, I'm just gonna say this. This is a minor thing because it's something I've kind of noticing when reading this book. This book is designed like it could be done by, but it's being written like you can present this to a bunch of randos and this can be your game. But no, I can just say this for certain doubt. Very role playing. This is just a thing of Ryan, like regardless of whatever you're gonna go into it. Role play heavy games you should definitely always have a pre-existing relationship beforehand, so that way you're more able to understand and bounce off each other. If you don't fucking who these people are, it's so incredibly awkward.
Especially since at any point you can have some weirdo who is a complete degenerate.
What are you talking about, Greg? It's going to make the makeout sessions than the erotic roleplay that much more hotter. Who doesn't want to do it with a stranger you just met?
Oh yeah, now that you mentioned that's why, because it's for the erotic parts. Yeah, because it's weird to do that with people you know, but it's fine to do it with strangers.
So here's a bit more art. I don't know why the cursed animal thing is now a raccoon dog, but he is.
I don't know. Is that? Anyway, that's not Tanuki. He doesn't have the giant ball sack.
I will say the only bit of fun art is just this stupid expression on the slime jar's face. Woo! That actually amuses me more than anything else in here because my brain is desperate to find something to enjoy.
Anyway,
oh wait, no, there's one more ominous. The Birdman is giving fuck me eyes to the Tanuki. There we go.
Oh, that's because they're in a polyamorous relationship, Adam.
Anyway,
does that include the child?
Yes.
Oh no!
When you have gathered your players and are ready to play, read the following descriptor to your players. We're not reading this because it's just a summarization of what we just read.
Yeah, screw that.
The only thing that you kind of even remotely adds is create relationships with your characters, make them up, and
oh my god, do you like on the character creation itself? Do you like the very cheap, disgusting web designs? Do you like how blurry it all is?
Oh, actually, you know what? Reading this blue thing, it makes me want to vomit a little. It literally just says it. This is what it says. Remember, this is what it says you should tell your players. Once world creation is finished, the play will happen over the course of 2 acts with a mid-story climax between Act 1 and 2. You're literally just telling them what is going to happen in this game.
Quality.
There was no. What's the point of choice if you're just going to flat out say, oh yeah, regardless of your choice, there's going to be a climax here. It's going to be a depressing. This is what's going to happen. You can just have fun in those parts.
Yeah.
Is this the first instance of a book railroading a party? This might be the first instance of being railroaded by the book.
By the way, do you like
with a there's modules, but yeah, for like a full-on just a rules book, like as a book about the rules of a system, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the worst. By the way, do you like how the graphic detailing, the things to make it look a little nicer, they're all low quality PNGs that were stretched?
I mean, it actually kind of looks like someone took a picture of like a thing and then just kind of insert, like they actually took like a real life picture of something and then just took
shitified it, yeah.
Anyway, we've got our characters.
Also,
Yes,
again, off-center, off-center, scrunched
when
into one
choosing
corner.
characters, it is important that players know that the game will include the wizard and the curse will always be fucking.
Okay, so that's ripping off Hal, but I think it's involving the character, a character that I can't spoil.
The wizard is an immensely powerful person who has made a short-sighted pact with a demon that is now they starting to regret.
That's literally Hal's plot
Yeah,
line.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. The story themes will revolve around their queerness, their search for emotional connection, and their falling in love with the cursed.
You know, that's actually more homophobic than this reads like a KKK member or Hollywood guy going, you know what those gays always think about? They always think about fucking each other. They don't think about anything else but fucking each other.
You mean like that KKK guy that got arrested for going after male prostitutes?
Yeah, that's all they think about.
And not in the violent way, in the other way.
It's just whenever the only thing they have is how gay they are, that feels like a fucking parody.
Anyway, the demon is a powerful entity with particular control over the existence that is bound to the wizard.
Translation: Chalcifer in the Studio Ghibli version looked like a fireball. Fun fact: in the book, he actually literally looked like an old school like Western demon.
Yeah, but it's Japan; they like to be metaphorical.
And this guy only ever watched the movie and ripped it off.
Well, no, because they ripped it out because I think the demon is the bird thing, so which it looks more like a demon than a fireball. I guess.
Oh no! The demon, both in the movie and in this, is clearly supposed to be the water blob.
I have no fucking.
Because Chalcifer looked like a fireball.
The story will revolve around them trying to understand what does it mean to be human and learning what it means to express care for others and feeling alternately repulsed by and attracted to the wizard. The demon's player will take the role as the enemy and the other antagonistic forces when needed.
Okay.
Wait, does that wait? I'm just confused. The demon's player will take the role as the enemy. Does that mean that sometimes the player will just have to lose control of their character and play someone else?
Well, because the demon.
Or does that mean the demon? Or does that mean the demon is the enemy? Because it says the demon's player.
Yeah. He didn't think this through. My guess is it's because the Chalcifer character can't do much.
If you are playing with
their power goes into the floating castle.
If you are playing with people whose play preferences you don't know well, ask how people feel about body horror. And if they're uncomfortable with it, ask the wizard and the curse to keep that in mind when describing their transformations. The monster is an untamed demon.
Fucking group.
The monster is an untamed demon or witch of the wilds who was stripped of their powers before being taken in as part of the family. Their story will evolve around them learning to trust and care for others.
Oh, fuck off. That's the old lady witch that curses the girl in the beginning.
The child is an orphan that was taken in by the wizard at a young age and now studies as their apprentice. Their story's themes are on coping with the strange and dramatic situations beyond their control, questioning the boundaries of your relationship.
Indoctrinating children and having them watch as you do horrible, degenerate sexual things in front of their underage eyes.
While needing to and expressing attachment. The curse is a previously normal human who has been transformed horribly in a way that is strange and incorrect.
Past each of the young girl, and there's another character that also is transformed.
Their story will revolve around trains. Is that transness or trainsness?
Transness, which don't you like how because they were forcibly turned into something that they have to deal with? I guess being that
they no longer identify. They no longer identify whatever they used to be. Or were they trans before that?
Baroque sex. Help a rogue
surgeon your own needs by caring for others.
It's not my fault. I have to point out that having a child character makes this really creepy. But that's their fault.
But everyone has chosen
ripping off Spirited Away. He ripped off all of the Studio Ghibli films.
When everyone's ready to proceed, begin reading the playbook.
Oh boy.
Creating relationships. The wizard and the cursed are always, of course, going to be doing it. Starting with the wizard and proceeding in numerical order. Players will read aloud the questions and answer them together. Why is that bolded?
This
and
reads
nothing
like
else?
a really painful lesson plan done by a rookie teacher.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This feels like something I would have done back in goddamn Psych 101 class.
This feels like something a teacher designs for a lesson plan, but like in an awful way.
This feels like my middle school drama class.
When your fucking module feels like goddamn classwork, you fucked up incredibly hard.
I feel that the wizard and demon don't have questions mentioning other characters. That is okay. Subsequent characters should have questions that flesh out those connections. So essentially, you build the entire personality and everything on these characters, not based on any of his conceived ideas in your mind, but based on what other characters tell you. So, for instance, let's say just say for instance, the players ask questions, but they're weird or relevant questions that have nothing to do with the character you've come up with. So you just have no clue what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Like if you ask, like, okay, what's the hair color? Blue. Okay. What's their hobbies? I don't know. They like flower picking. And they just have mentioned the fact that they're escaping because they're running from a murder, and that just never comes up in conversation because no one asks.
Yep. And that's the one. I think the idea is you're supposed to come with no idea of what they are until you start bullshitting. But the problem is I'm defending a book that is a clear, cynical cash grab that used very small pre-made assets that were stretched and redesigned in a bad way.
Anyway,
this was already a predetermined adventure, though. Wouldn't that mean it's going to be really fucking messy if you have an open-endedness to it? And there's also like strictness to it. This sounds like a clusterfuck.
Does any of the three here want to read the extended example?
No, fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
So Ash, which is the writer, obviously the wizard's calling to me. I am dying to be a non-binary wizard who adopts strays. Is everyone cool with that? No one objects, so Ash takes the wizard playbook. Great! So who wants to fall in love with my dashing and devastatingly good-looking wizard, then? Well, if no one else has the hot set on it, I'd love to play the cursed. Again, no one objects. Jerry takes the cursed playbook. After a little discussion, Sophie takes the monster, Sam takes the child, and Willie takes the demon. They all take several minutes to work through the character options on their sheets. When everyone is finished, they introduce their character. So hey everyone, I'm Rhyme the Wizard. My pronouns are they and them. My gender is ambiguous. I have laughing eyes and a graceful body, and I wear flamboyant clothing. Because what is the point of being a wizard if you can't wear flamboyant clothes and do rad magic? Well, about 20 years ago, I made a foolish bargain for power, and since then I've come to regret it. Given that it's demonic power, using too much of it causes me to start turning into a giant demon lizard. Because I'm ripping off Howl. I'm ripping off the wizard from that one movie that I liked and clapped when I was a small teenage boy. Aren't I clever and intelligent? No? You want me to shut up? Fine then, assholes. Currently, I use...
So, it should be meant...
I'm sorry. I'm going to read this part. Currently, I'm using my power to power adopting strays and running away from the man!
What the fuck?
Running away from the man, which is why I'm running out of time before I lose my humanity for good. I have to use more and more power to protect the family from our enemies. Well, that's me. Who's next? Yo, I'm Vixel the Demon! My gender's irrelevant, and my pronouns are they and them. I basically am just using the same fucking voice. I have a pact with Rhyme that binds me to the home and keeps all the magic spells on it going because I ripped off Chalcifer, guys! Remember him? Remember that fireball thing that stole his heart in the movie? Yeah, that's me! Oh god, I'm a fucking unoriginal hack fraud! What is wrong with me?
Anyway.
Sorry.
Haha, right.
You can see what I'm doing. Anyway, I have glowing eyes, a water body, and ghostly voice. I was right.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not mad at it.
I figure I live in a cistern in the basement, which is a ripoff of the furnace in the fucking building!
What the fuck, the cistern?
There's a pit, an old-time house construction. It's the thing underground, which means that you can't actually have a cistern.
Oh, I thought they were making like a gender joke, like cis.
No.
Oh, this is an actual thing. Oh, hey, it looks kind of cool.
Actually.
Yeah, basically, it was this tunnel pit of water that you built near a house or under it.
Oh.
It gave you your water supply.
All right, I'll do selfie. All right, cool. I guess I'm next then. I'm Swellow, and I'm a monster.
I named myself after the Pokemon.
My gender is demon, and my pronouns are either she or they. In a previous life, I was a monster who ate nightmares, and I gave nightmares to anybody who looked at me in their eyes. I served an evil king who gave me lots of folks to eat, but when he was overthrown, I was imprisoned in a room of mirrors, and my powers re-elected back on so much I eventually lost them completely.
So,
I mean,
before
that's so totally cool.
I just wanted to say something. By the way, viewers, can you tell me what Studio Ghibli monster this fucking thing's ripping off?
Now that I'm living in the home, I don't have any powers, but I still look like a giant bird woman with haunting
that was
eyes.
supposed to be a bird woman?
I think someone said Spirited Away.
The Childs is obviously my favorite because they still have nightmares, even if I can't eat them anymore. You know, because I just really like children. You all, I like staring at them.
They literally say creepy.
See, it's not awful if it's a woman who does the horrible things to children.
Oh god!
Do you think that's what the author did? Like, I'm not trying to denigrate. It's just
it only comes off that way.
It's just when you throw in a clearly underage, like single-digit child.
Well, if you look below, like even Jeremy thinks that's creepy.
Wait, who's Jeremy?
Jerry.
The curse.
Yeah, I'm the curse guy.
Yeah, even Jerry thinks that's creepy. What's going on?
Okay, well, I'm Sable the child. I'm 10, but I'm short for my age.
To make
my
them
gender
look
is
younger.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes maybe. Sometimes yes. Fuck you. I use rotating pronouns because I'm still figuring all that stuff out. I have curious eyes and a soft body.
Like the small innocent child was indoctrinated in the ways of faggotry by this evil
wait, what the fuck is this? Look at the next page. What the hell is this?
But what? They just changed like
background. Like why is it now a piece of paper?
No clue.
Anything?
I'm learning magic from the wizard. I'm really good at dream magic, but I hate it. I like water magic, but I think Vixel's the coolest, and I want to impress them, but I'm terrible at it. That's me!
By the way, yes, Pagan Pilot, call the police. Fine, it just leaves me then. I'm Eris the Cursed. I'm a cis man and my pronouns are he and him. I have sad eyes, a hybrid animal human body that's half wolf, and a human voice. I was already in my 60s when I was transformed. I was a grandfather and elder of my village, but I fled into the wilds because I knew I wouldn't be accepted.
I got turned into a furry!
I've been living with Rhyme for about 2 years, and I'm not aware that the curse that transformed me weakens to show my true form when I'm feeling strong negative emotions. I don't know what Studio Ghibli thing he stole, but
so he can only wait, you're saying he can only be himself when he's miserable.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it.
What?
Oh.
What's wrong?
When I'm miserable, I look like how I used to. When I'm happy, I'm what I really want to be.
Well, who's that supposed
to
be?
No, from the way it's described, he didn't dislike what he used to be.
My brain hurts.
Why is it hurt, Adam?
Because this is a trans propaganda moment.
Oh, I see it now. Yep, I see it.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
At least
I can kind of see that, but the way it's like the way Jeremy reads it, it's less like that. It's like, no, I'm just miserable because he says even you mentioned he's sad eyes and he's just he was cast out. He doesn't sound happy being here.
By the way, it gets creepier. That's completely shallow, but given that we're going to be falling in love, are you cool with saying that Eris's human form looks like Ted Danson? Rhyme is less shallow than they were in their youth, but they're not above wanting to be with someone as beautiful as them. Oh my goodness, yes, let's do it. Oh god.
This is. I'm back on this call. What the fuck is that?
That's what?
Oh god, he looks like that CNN reporter.
Wait, which page are we on?
No, it's not on anything. I was just looking who the fuck Ted Danson was.
No clue. Am I back to you guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Sorry, it's just I got a piece of mail for some reason. It's nothing important.
All right, so
you got mail.
We're only at like describing what the game should be like, and we already lost our fucking minds.
Well, I think it's just because of how cynical, low effort, creepy, lazy.
Wait, what the fuck? Look at the next page. Look at the next page. The thing is gone.
Oh, you mean the stupid decorations? Is that what got you?
Yeah, the decorations are gone. Why?
He could only afford to add that much more extra ink for his printer that day.
Anyway, I really don't want to read any more of the example thing. Can we move on? We got the main.
Yeah, because this is just the relationship chart that they do. World creation. Wait, why? You wouldn't create anything. You just ripped. Oh, God. So world creation consists of 3 rounds of questions about the home, the wilds, and the outside world. As a group, you'll read through the questions, answer them, and record your answer on the setting sheet. Some questions are marked as being for one player. In those instances, the indicated player will answer that question first. Other players may add details if they wish, but it should be brief. Some questions are marked as being for everyone. In those, everyone takes turns either answering the question as it pertains to their character or providing details about an element.
Begin by reading the introductory set of paragraphs of Magical Land Bingo or page 8. Answer the following questions studying together.
Translations. You do the work, asshole. I didn't feel like doing more than just ripping off Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke. So, your home. This was originally the wizard's home, but for now it's your home too. Just seeing it still fills you with excitement and wonder. And basically, these are the questions that each of them answer.
Wizard, your home is huge and inspired and obviously magical. What does it look like?
It looks like a giant dreidel that has a bunch of
it's a giant Soviet. It's a Soviet concrete block.
It's a giant Soviet concrete block with a crying face of Stalin on it.
Now the demon answers the question of how does your house move, and I would like to say it crawls on. There's like 1,000 penis tentacles, and they crawl.
No. To make it creepier,
there's a bunch of Maras.
To make it creepier, shouldn't it be just like baby arms and legs as it crawls?
Oh God!
Like wooden baby arms.
The home interior shifts on a whim by the whims of the wizard and the needs of the family. What is the interior like, and why does it feel homey? I've just gotten used to constant. I'm really glad I don't have seizures.
Wait! What if it's the back? It looks like the back rooms. How about that?
I was gonna say, you see, there's a nice closet I could hide myself into where I just roll around in coats. It's nicer than the cage I was kept in.
The wizard didn't intend you all to share their home. What is something you find inconvenient?
Sometimes the water just doesn't work.
Wizard, there are too many black people in this house. Please help.
and then the wizard shows up wearing brown face. I think I've helped.
Every optional. Each one of you has their own space inside the home. What is your safe space like?
Well, you see, there's a ratty mattress on the floor. There's a stool. There's a rope that I've been trying to figure out how to tie into a noose.
The wizard's home is in the wild, the domain of the witch. Blah blah blah. Normally avoided. Monster. What are the landscapes of the wild? There's a desert, mountainous, blah blah. Anyway, the wilds are beautiful, dangerous. What danger about the wilds that you have encountered or heard of?
There's a river of blood, and there's skulls all over the place too. And there's monsters that roam the land that behead people.
How rude! Look, just notice something. Look how rude. Everyone got a unique thing except the cursed. The cursed gets nothing. Fuck you, cursed.
Yep, eat shit, cursed.
Literally eat shit. You cis male. Because remember they're the only cis character.
And the outside world. Powerful forces in the outside world that are hunting the wizard, and even the wizard's magic isn't enough to keep you safe. Wizard. Some wizards are licensed to practice magic and make your cities. How does your wizard get a license? What rules do they have to follow?
You have
Why
to perfectly.
Does any of this matter?
You have to perfectly do the chicken dance for 1 hour straight.
Wizard has an enemy that requires the wizard for their plans to come to fruition. Starting with the demon. Take turns picking. Why are some things just randomly bolded?
Can it just be Inspector Clouseau with a mustache?
Oh, look how they don't even give you the options to name the wizard. You have to choose an option.
Oh, come on.
This might be gay, but there's something about like creating a villain that sounds neat. But in this instance, it's totally fucking retarded.
Because you don't have any choices.
Oh, and look for if you really want to be asshole, you can do this with with your 1d6s because they're both because the names are 6 of them, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other for titles. If you really want to be fucking irrelevant, you could just roll your 2d6s.
Inconvenient laws against cross-generational queer relationship.
What the fuck?
Is that your detail plan? Is that the bad guy's plan, Impset, to save the child from the horrible group of degenerates that they're stuck with?
What?
I'm sorry, there's just something innately creepy about a kid in this all-gay commune, you know?
Anyway, let's not. We're done with continued examples, so fuck this.
Yep, we're not doing that. Hey, look, it's it's half the map again, just because we needed an extra page.
With names this time.
Oh no, there were already names. This is just him reprinting that page.
Playbooks, art. We got. Look, it's Blackula. I'm sorry, but come on, it looks like a fucking vampire.
The dreaded Count Blackula rises again.
You're right. He reminds me of one of the vampires that they kill on the Venture Brothers.
They do. So this is the wizard. Oh, you don't even get names. You have to pick these.
1d6 again. Look, 6 of them again. So no, there's 7. Okay, no, you can't use 1d6 this time.
You can't even make your own fucking character. You have to pick these. That's awful.
Fair. I think these are suggestions. There's nothing saying you have to.
They don't suggest. They don't say they're suggestions.
Also, remember, they said there's a thing that has to happen. The wizard can't be cis.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard-coded.
You know, it's also hard-coded. They have to have the same fate as Howl. He has to degenerate into a monster thing.
Also, they also did the same thing, but essentially he has to, due to the way this works, he has to start as a man because he's going to get into a relationship with the cursed, who is a cis. So... So he always has to be originally biologically male.
Yep.
A lot of options here. Gotcha. To create a pact,
I like how he just vomited.
I'm losing the will to live. I want to go back. I want to go back to my junk food. I want to go back to Paradox Games where I don't have to think about this.
Greg, do you like eating snowballs? Do you like Hostess cakes? Maybe you should eat some of those. Those are good for you.
You motherfucker, you know those will kill me.
We'll eat them anyway.
No, I never liked them even when I could eat them.
Wow, what a fucker. Fuck you.
I ate cannolis.
All right, so like, do we even want to? It sounds like
we've already read these before.
Okay.
The details, the pact with your. Oh wait.
No, we've already read all this. It doesn't fucking matter.
Why are you running out of time? Oh yeah, they explained this already. What the?
Yeah, these are all. By the way, don't you like how the bird lady is a bird lady, but they're drawn exactly like a very thin man?
Also, I'm just gonna say, look at these marks. The literal thing you have to do to.
Which is the exact plot of Howl's Moving Castle. So fuck that.
If you think you hit a mark but aren't sure, you dib it. You dribble.
This is literally somebody's script, and they're forcing you at gunpoint, saying, "If you don't do these beats, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah. Here's the small child that should not be anywhere near this. It's pretty horrifying. Tell someone you love them and want them to stay. Oh, God. Oh, no.
By the way, look at that picture of the weird purple hedgehog.
That's my original fan character, Blonic.
Its face is a nightmare.
If I cracked open this book and saw that thing, that would have been the fucking thumbnail.
Turn to someone for protection. Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services. Yeah, this is just. Hey, look, hey, it's the fucking Tanuki again.
No, hold on. We need to learn how to play as a child. In this scene, nothing more, and none of your remarks make sense for the situation. You can always do one of the following: struggle with performing a task that is hard because of your small size. Ask too many questions when somebody is trying to concentrate on an important task. Surprise someone by using your magic in an unexpected way. Play a prank on the demon or the monster. Ask an overtly personal question about the curse. Demonstrate affection for the wizard. Okay.
See, with Howl's Moving Castle, it's more that he was an apprentice. This is just creepy. Okay, we're in creepy territory now. Yeah.
We just skip on to page 48 of the book. They got playing the game. We finally got how to play the game and the structures of play.
Yeah, I don't really care about the curse because this is literally beat per beat. So structure of play. There's 2 acts.
The play is divided into 2 acts, and each act having a post-act climax. During each act, players will take turns selecting from a list of act-specific minigames. What is this, Mario Party?
No, here's the there's the mini games right here.
No, it can't be Mario Party because that would have conflict.
Also, maybe one of you can win by doing nothing.
The mini games are self-contained and may be for everyone or only for a specific character. Each minigame is played only once. When all the minigames for Act 1 have been played, play immediately moves to the Act 1 climax, a special minigame for all players, in which the tension is escalated and the approaching danger becomes imminent. After the Act 1 climax is complete, Act 2 begins. As with Act 1, players will choose from a shorter list of minigames and play each game only once. Once Act 2 minigames have been played, it is time to play the resolution, discover how it all ends. After the resolution complete, your story is complete. It sounds like a government tax form, showing you how to do stuff. And when your goddamn role-playing module sounds like a tax guide, you've lost.
After the resolution is complete, your story is complete.
You suck at this.
So here's the mini games that you're forced to play. A dumb argument. Budding romance. Chore day. Goofing off. Home improvement.
You know what?
Hey, I'll give scenarios.
I'll give the beginning of the book this. It made me angry, but it didn't bore me to tears.
Midnight confession. Special family meal. A trip to the market. By the way, you like how most of them are for everyone, but there's several where you're just sitting around with your thumb up your ass?
Yeah, but where's the game? This is just role-playing scenarios.
Act 1 climax.
It's not your scent.
You gotta stop the bad guy.
You took a very loud fart, and everybody from a 5-mile radius heard it.
By the way, Act 2 is literally just the second half of Howl's Moving Castle where they try to escape Suleiman and all the other bad things that happen. Fuck off. Just pointing out that this is literally verbatim just a ripoff of all the other shit from the movie. Queer Vogons wrote this. No, Vogons would be able to write a better story than this. And Vogons are the worst writers.
It's just a game order. Look at suggesting game order. It's like no. This isn't even like a set. You can rearrange these in any order. The only thing you gotta have is have certain things in the right place.
But he just tells you what you're supposed to do. What is this horse shit? What is this horse shit?
Viewers, I hope our suffering appeases you.
Hey, Greg. Would you consider your fun, quirky role playing moments, let's say Bob the Skeleton goes to the market? Would you consider that a main core tenet of D&D?
You know, the sad thing is that would be a fun small session.
I remember the story. I remember the story of Barnacle Bob Goes to Quickfill.
I was not there for that.
But at the same time, too, would you say just role-playing in itself is a feature that should be, mentioned? If that's all you have, why not just write a book then in that fucking case?
There's a reason I think this might have been maybe his failed pitch to Netflix to get Studio Ghibli. to get the to get the rights to Howl's Moving Castle so he can make a limited series out of it.
Like, I'm not actually joking here, viewers. I actually just did yaw there because reading through this act is so fucking boring.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. So here we go, hitting your marks.
Telling
These are specific to characters, and you have to try to get all of them, I think.
But remember, as I described before, if you think you did it, you did it.
By the way, marks are both goals for players to shoot for and guidance for what will create the best story. So this is the author. Even if you agree with him in every way, the author's like, you have to follow my script exactly, you dirty degenerate homosexual, to have the greatest experience.
Listen here, you piece of shit. If you go off script, I swear to God, you think you're a better goddamn writer than me, you motherfucker? I'm gonna fucking
read this. Your learned lessons are meant to be positive lections that reflect character growth, the deepening of relationships, and the unlearning of unhealthy ways. So it's like satisfying to take care of people.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna scroll up to. Let's just go with the kid, because it's fucked up. Tell someone that you love them and want them to stay. Okay. How does that make me learn how to be a less awful person? Bringing alarming news from the outside world to the family. How does that make you better? And from the curse, refuse an offer to rejoin the outside world. How does that make you better? This is Pagan Pilot. Will this be worse than Meat Punks because this isn't a game? I actually think this is a worse game, yeah.
Is this even a game?
It's not. This is True Namer. This isn't a game. This is a True Namer. So
if you want to know, then you might be able to hit a particular box. See Appendix B, 135.
Appendix B.
This is the tax form. This is the tax form reading.
Oh no, Greg has been turned into Gumi-chan. Greg has turned into Gumi-chan, the murderous red parrot. We're fucked.
Oh god, my voice cracked hard there.
You turned into I forget what species of bird that red parrot is, but you turned into him for a second or two.
Bird. This is gonna sound really dumb, but to my own ears, I thought I sounded like Elmo.
Do you think you can hit your marks by role playing very graphic, detailed gay sex?
Probably.
Like the child says, "I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay."
Oh no!
I am only slightly.
It's all about a for gay butt sex.
So I'm not the only. So Halt, I'm not the only one who gets the feeling that a lot of these RPG writers are just frustrated would-be screen. Yeah, because these people, what they'll do is they'll take what they consider a lower form of entertainment and try to fail their way upwards into what they believe is their entitled and due rights. These people don't give a fuck about the settings. These people don't give a fuck about what they're shitting out. They just want to get into Hollyweird.
The rules for minigames are only guidelines. The prompts for your minigames are heavily scripted, but your group is welcome to change or disregard them if they have a better idea, if they don't fit the story you want. The only rules that must be followed are that the current wizard and the currents will have a happy, healthy relationship and fuck hard. Everyone survives. They thrive, deeply attached, away from society. Even though apparently, everything, like, they should be accepted, they apparently decide, no, we don't want to be with anyone else. We want to be in our own weird commune together.
I'm just envisioning them starving to death because they don't even go into town to get food.
In this world, they magic it up with the wizard's powers. Queer identities are expected and no one is persecuted. Whatever. Everyone in this game prompt can be considered a
Wait, but here's the question. Why can't I just be, like, a cisgender person?
Well, no, there is. Remember, he's the werewolf.
Yeah, but he's forced to turn into a gay man.
Well, no.
It's like reverse gay conversion camp. It's like
I don't know what's going on.
Well, you see, you look at tax form 4A.
In case you guys couldn't tell, the next how many pages this is going to be? The next a lot of pages are just mini games descriptions.
By the way, apparently you have to hit the marks because your ending requires them.
Yeah, they do. But remember, you can as they say, you can liberally interpret them, whether you hit them or not.
That's
wait. If I'm reading this right, Everyone survives. The family. So wait, basically, it's saying no matter what you do, you live.
Yeah.
There's no consequence for your actions.
If you want to commit mass atrocities on the Anzalian Empire and try to get the high score
for daring to intrude on your shitty woods.
You could go full the trees are speak in Troon and just start murdering hundreds of thousands of people and you can't die.
Well, you can be a horrible
it's not that you just can't die. You'll have a happy ending.
Adam, you can be a horrible monster, but you got to respect their queer identities. They are respected, and no one is persecuted for having a queer identity.
Wait, is this a psychiatry book? Because that's about the only way this makes sense, and it makes this is a person who tried to write a lesson plan. It's always people. I think this is what happens when LARPers try to write books. That, in my experience, LARPers tend to write their stories like lesson plans, like school lesson plans.
By the way, the next 25 pages are literally just minigame descriptions.
Yep. So here's some of the games you can play, like a stupid argument, which reads exactly like a school lesson plan. Like if you ever dig through a teacher's desk, this is exactly how they write when they come up with a plan.
When fucking Clue has more options for roleplay in it, you fucked up miserably. Again, I honestly, God, think you could have more fun with Clue and more role-playing opportunities too with it.
Yeah. You know, it also has more role-playing possibilities.
Monopoly?
Battleship and Monopoly. Checkers has more role-playing potential. Don't Wake Daddy is a metaphorical genius compared to what we're reading. And that game's designed for toddlers.
Operation 2 is also a game you can roleplay that the patient brought to you was in a horrible accident, and through
your disgraced former head surgeon in the throes of alcoholism in the back alley of a Mexican bar doing bootleg surgeries for drug money.
I think we've just given up at this point, haven't we?
Yeah, fuck this book.
Are we going to continue this? Do we? Hold on. We at least gotta go.
No. How's this an idea? We read the climaxes of Act 1 and 2.
No. We need hold on. We got stupid argument. The home just.
Well, let's be fair. We'll read this. We'll read the climax of Part 1, and then we'll read another terrible lesson plan done by Dr. Ash.
Hold on. We need to read stupid argument. Hold on. Let me do this.
We need to read this college student lesson plan given by instructors for the community college students.
The home used to be quite spacious, but there are more of you now, and sometimes the aggravation of feeling closely packed in means tempers can get a bit heated. What happens, and how do you handle the situation? First decide who will play the roles in the scene. Arguers. Two characters. Oh my god. Adam, you remember that one feminism book we read with Randall way back when?
Oh yeah, that was episode 13. By the way, that's actually a better book.
No, this is exactly what's going on here. We got the setup.
It is, but this is better. No, this is worse. The feminism book, the #feminism book we did, was better.
Oh god.
Because there were 2 or 3 performance games in there that actually were kind of interesting.
All right, so 2 characters are the arguers. The de-escalators. At least one character must be a de-escalator.
Isn't that the thing you go on to go downstairs in a mall?
Wait, Adam! I just realized something. The arguers. I'm just realizing something. Because only queer identities are respected, there's nothing against racism in the book. So the arguers can be people that are like, "There's too many black people in my house."
Well, no, because all of them are black. Remember?
No. Here's the question. Can you be fine with identifying as a monster, sexually? But what if you just hate monsters in general? Like not the gender identity monsters, but I mean just things that don't look like you.
Well, yeah, the water elemental could be the arguer, Adam. The water elemental just hates all those darkies.
It's like, come on, it's already bad enough that I had to make a Faustian bargain with you. You're bringing in more black people in this house. That's already something I can't stand. I made the pact with you when my eyesight was failing.
No. I'm sorry. No. Make it against the Jews. That way, someone can say, "Hey, cool," with the anti-Semitic remarks.
No, because the thing is, the moment we start going down there, this stream will magically die somehow.
I love the nation of Israel very much. I just want to say
would.
that. I want that to be very pure and evident.
What?
Death to Palestine. All right. All right. Breaking up the argument. Okay. The de-escalators. What are you doing when the fight started? Why did you get involved? Interrupting. First, you need to interrupt the fight. How did you draw attention to the arguers? How did you lash out in response? What did you say you shouldn't? I know what you said he shouldn't.
This is Socratic This is Socratic method questioning. This is literally how. I'm not kidding. This reads like a really shitty lesson plan.
The escalators. How do you cool down the heated feelings?
That's not me, Sid. That's actually Greg in the fit of a psychotic break.
Trying to convince the de-escalators you're right. The reconciliation. How do you ensure the fight won't break out again? Arguers. Convinces you to apologize for your part in the argument. Aftermath. What was the damage done to the house that needs to be repaired? If so, how will you fix it? Arguers. How are you more considerate of the feelings of others in the future?
We're not reading the example of play. Fuck that. From Prissy Princess Cyanide, Water Elemental. There's too many liquid darklies in this house. Oh, that's my Nixon. I don't know why. I feel like the water guy sounds like he'd be gurgling all the time. You know, because
Act 1 climax. Act 1 climax. It is page
we're not reading
81.
But
before that, I want to bring attention to the wonderful line I saw on page 79.
The book or the PDF?
Of the PDF, it'd be page 78 of the book.
Okay.
They decide that the clothes are your first priority. I don't know. I find that funny. Like this is right before the giant climax, and they're just talking about
rolling dice. Where the fuck were they rolling dice? Wait, did it mention dice before?
Yeah, they do. They mentioned 2d6.
By the way, did you know? Did you notice that the example of play here, the guy fucking gave up on doing that crappy pastel like watercolor background for that? He gave up. He fucking gave up on that page. He couldn't be arsed.
He didn't have enough money for it, Adam. Ink's not cheap, man.
He couldn't be fucking arsed.
The Kinko's he goes to get him printed, we're charging, man.
Do you like also how he just pads a page?
This is either a lesson plan or a student's exam paper. No, I've read smarter things from students.
Do you like how page? Sorry, I just have to write page 79 of the book, not the PDF. It's just padding. 79.
Oh, where they just reuse an art asset.
Yeah, just to pad the page.
No, like I've read better student exam paper. Remember that one kid? You know that one meme kid who kept making really bad essays? Mm-hmm. Writes better than this book.
The war approaches and the enemy has caught your scent.
Okay, are we at Act 1 climax now?
Yeah, I want to get to this as fast as possible. You need to buy yourself space by confronting them on their turf. What do you
do? Embrace death.
What
do you decide to confront the enemy? Why do you decide to confront the enemy directly? What do you hope to accomplish? Whose idea is it to confront the enemy? Is the Wither enthusiastic about the idea or reluctant? If reluctant, what persuades them to go along with the plan? The demon will play the enemy.
Of course.
The demon can't fucking leave the house, so he's irrelevant.
So wait. Then in that case, doesn't that just mean that's like giving like one of your players control of the monster you're gonna have kill, and if the guy's cool and all, he will be like, he won't try to hurt the party in any way. Well, then again, I guess the party can't even get hurt in the first place. So it doesn't matter.
If a player is now control of the enemy, does that mean the enemy has to have a happy ending too now?
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
It's almost like you probably should have thought things through.
The confrontation begins. Play through the following prompts in order. After answering the prompt questions and briefly roll of 2d6 to determine what complications arrive.
Your
Players
voice might
rolling may add 1 to the results for each of their I learned up to a bonus of +3.
Oi.
Biggie, shut up.
Your microphone went funny.
Wait, what?
It's better now. Okay, it fixed.
Okay. Did you get any of that?
Quite loudly,
Maybe.
yes.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
Sorry, viewers, for the ear rape
I take
that
my
Biggie gave you. Okay, Biggie, look, you violated your own rules. You did the rape this time.
no.
The electrical storm is displeased. By the way, the stream might end at any point if my power gets kicked. Just a heads up.
Well, then that's going to be a blessing for you. Okay, so a 1 or a 6 is a
Conversation
failure.
begins. Following prompts in order. Answer the prompts questions and play out the scene. Roll 2d6 to determine if complications arise.
So
If anyone
this is
learned
how
a
they
positive
designed the
lesson,
climax. Wow.
the player rolling may add a +1 for every lesson they learned along the way.
Oh, that's what the marks are for.
If it's between 1 and 6, which means even at their most, if you roll a 3, regardless of how well you did, you're fucked. Partial success, it works, but caused a complication 10. Everything went fine.
And these are just the things I guess you have to roll for. Daring escape. All successes in between.
Wait, hold on. We got a straggler. Who is this? Hello, Randall Frag. Randall Frag, would you like to discuss your feelings with us and how that makes you feel right now? Because that's what we're getting from this book.
Oh, what?
You remember that hashtag feminism game we covered way back when? This reads exactly like it, but worse.
It reads like a bad lesson plan or tax form.
Oh my God. What page are you on?
Page 83, because we skipped all of the terrible fucking mini games that read like lesson plans.
No. Not all of them. Most of them. It's all terrible. I hate this.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad.
Hated this. As to reiterate, we've already given this the rating. It's true, Amber.
Yeah.
Oh, not surprising.
There's no choice in this game, despite it touting that.
Yeah, literally, it forces you to follow the plot of Howl's Moving Castle. All of the characters are designed around the Studio Ghibli film.
This has less choice. This is all your decisions have less narrative value than Commander Shepard's in Mass Effect 3.
To give you an idea, you can't even come up with your wizard's backstory. You're stuck with making a bad deal with a demon, becoming a half monster man that when you use your powers greatly.
Half monster, non-binary man.
Oh God.
You can't even come up with your name, and you have to move around in a giant flying house that you can just... I mean, you can change what it looks like so you can make it a depressing piece of Soviet propaganda, but, like... it's the same garbage.
Oh God, the brutalist blockhouse.
It's just flying. No, that's crawling.
It's brutalist blockhouse.
By towers of tiny baby feet.
Like baby feet and hands just crawling like spider legs on the house.
Act 1 is over. Take a break if desired.
Yeah, this was really heavy. All those terrible mini games where you basically just roll a couple dice.
Wow.
Contemplate suicide from all these.
Now, if anyone crossed off a mark in a scene, write down that they learned a lot. I learned.
I learned something today.
I didn't learn jack shit.
After this game, Act 1 marks remain unmarked. Unless otherwise specified, players may only use Act 2 marks from now on. No example of play, fuck that!
What's an Act 2 mark?
A mark that you'll get in Act 2. I don't know.
On page 87, you get to see it. You get to see the gay lover, half demon man, and his lover, the Tanuki man, as the child is ominously close to his man's lower regions, hugging it.
Yeah, that's
also, by the way, he's going full scaly.
It's a bit problematic.
He's going full scaly now. I actually unironically called him Count Blackula before because he looked more bat than lizard.
So we got Count Blackula, the Tanuki with the giant testicles, and a small child being hugging the lower body of Count Blackula.
No.
Just warning sign.
Now here's the question: do we want to read any more of these, or can we just skip to the climax?
No, let's at least read one. We got to see which one sounds like a bigger shit show.
I mean, securing the home is so boring. Let's just. Once everyone's out of the house, the first order of business is moving the home and upgrading it. How do you all work together to do this? This game is for everyone, and this is the first game to be played in Act 2. There's no order. You have to do these mini games in order. As a group discuss, how will you upgrade the home's defense? Was there any damage to the home as a result of the Act 1 climax?
You couldn't take it. You couldn't take it.
Yeah, I know. If so, what was it, and how will it be repaired as a part of the upgrades?
Wow.
Working together. Take turns.
You can literally just make up shit, can't you? You can basically say, yeah, I add a giant dildo onto the top of the house, and that distracts the enemy in battle.
You could. Working together. Take turns choosing actions. Everyone should pick one. Get to work. Apply one of your I learned lessons to the situation at hand by roping someone into helping you with a task. Watch someone work. Observe someone as they are working. What are they doing? What unconscious habit of theirs makes you smile? A moment together. Cross off a mark that applies to the situation and describe how you have a meaningful moment with someone away from the others. What happens? Why is it meaningful? Aftermath. When the work is done, if every character has at least 2 marks from Act 1 or 2, you may record one minor improvement to the home. Record a new improvement without eliminating an inconvenience. Work together to decide what the improvement not is. There's no verb. That's not a complete sentence. After the work is done, what activity do you all do together to celebrate the completion of a work? Where does it happen? What is the mood? I had to read it about as much. I had to read it with the same enthusiasm the writer had when he wrote that.
And I'm just sorry. Sorry, Holtzy, when you said that. I was looking at the chat.
Home defense. Can you get a shotgun in this game? No, guns are scary, dude.
Okay. Since we're gonna skip all the way to the climax, I would like the person with control of the camera to go to page 107.
No, in the examples of play, which is on page 90.
We're not reading the examples of play.
No, it's literally just, okay, guys, hey, that Act 1's climax was pretty intense. Are you guys feeling mentally sound to play Act 2? It says, yes, we are, Jam, but thank you for checking in with our mental health. That was the right thing to do.
I gotta read that. Where is it?
Like I said, page 90 of the PDF.
Oh, and last time we ended with the Act 1 climax, it got pretty intense, so I want to ask if everyone's okay. Oh my god.
Do you think these people, if they watch The Incredibles, they have like a panic attack saying, oh my god, they're gonna get hurt?
I think they had a panic attack when, you know those weird evil animals from Winnie the Pooh's Blustery Day comes up? The Gruffalumps?
Oh.
I think that traumatized them.
Anyway, page 107 of PDF. I want you to look at this amazing.
Look at the art quality.
Yeah. Look, the Tanukis fighting people with halberds that are. Wait. They're just like pointing. They're pointing the pokey blunt end at this Tanuki.
Wait, what's that symbol on that guy's pauldron? Isn't that like a white supremacist symbol? What is that?
That's the Jesus fish.
I don't know. Fish. I don't know, but do you like these guards who clearly know how to use their weapons so much that they're charging with the blunt side of their weapons at the Tanuki?
Yeah, it's not even a halberd. You fucking idiots.
It's not even a full-on axe. It's like some terrible piece of shit. Is it supposed to be a gun?
What page is
107 of the PDF, Randall.
Randall had the rum.
God. Actually, I got a French connection, which is cognac and amaretto.
You're gonna want
and a lot of ice.
You make sure you have extra drinks.
I made a double.
I like how there's airships too. Like, look at those fucking air.
Yeah, there's magic tech.
Yeah, it's like Howl's Moving Castle. By the way, the bird thing is supposed to be a woman.
Is it?
Allegedly.
I thought they went by they.
All right, hold on.
And it's named after a Pokemon.
Before the
then again, in all fairness, every character that isn't hilariously the Tanuki goes by they.
Oh.
All right, You don't talk about it, but you feel the danger looming overhead. You don't know when the war will arrive, but you know it will happen soon. What do you do in this brief moment of calm? Who do you spend it with? What secrets lay bare, and which do you hold tight? First, describe how the danger has not yet arrived, but is close at hand. For example, are the enemy's henchmen searching for the house nearby? Did an enemy airship pass overhead in one valley over? The last moments before the
where are
combat.
you reading this?
Dude, you went above. We're not reading
No,
Combo Storm.
No, this is before the action happens. God damn it, we got to know what happens.
No, we don't. I will crash the stream. No survivors.
The only thing I'll read is that one of the things you can do is you can just make a meal. There.
Isn't that simple use for various cancer awareness? Yeah.
Riveting. So, what do you do before the final battle? Cook a home meal.
So this is the Branch Dravadian stage of the game.
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
The resolution you've been dreading arrives. The war arrives on your doorstep. The enemy is making direct attack.
This actually ties into what we were saying, because didn't they go in guns blazing to save the children? This is also the case too, because this children's in this weird hetero unnormative gender sex weirdo cult, so they're here to rescue the kids.
Back to unnecessary bullying. The game is for everyone. It's played when all our 2 games have been played.
I'll crash the stream. No survivors. Joke's on you, Adam. This is already a train wreck. Yeah, I know.
But you love it.
Okay, if you haven't met your mark for Act 2, you'll need to incorporate it in this round of the scenes at the end of the game. Everyone's mark from Act 1 and 2 will be totaled to determine the ending. First, decide as a group why war has fought. You just make it up? What?
Well, what happened was, since he's ripping off Hal's Moving Castle, Prince Justin of the neighboring kingdom went missing, and because the nation that the story takes place in has a strong wizarding tradition, they accused them of, stealing him.
But in this case, it's quite literally the Republic of Irrelevance stand versus the Empire of the World.
The Empire of Evil, who lost to a bunch of Ooga Boogas in the woods.
No, they're not evil. Remember, they're a cosmopolitan, happy place.
Who wants to expand and rule the world?
Well, but they're cosmopolitan. They don't hate people because
the Republic of. It's the Republic of Uzbekistan versus the Nation of Israel. Who will win? All right, so the war. There will be 2 rounds and scenes, which the players will select a prompt.
2 rounds. That's the length of this fucking minigame.
Maximum
2 minutes.
The siege and the fire.
2 minutes to play on a brief 2-minute scene.
The wizard will start each round with a fixed prompt. Fuck you, wizard player. Do my story. I'm doing your story for you.
You can't plot anything.
Well, mind you, remember, it's not like they have actual choice. Everyone has to read from a list.
Then the players who's seen will roll a 2d6 to determine what complications arrive. They may add 1 to their rolls for each of their Act 2 marks they've hit, up to a bonus of +3. If a player has unfulfilled marks and they're able to incorporate their mark into framing of their prompt, they will take an extra +1 and rolling for that prompt. This can be done in each round if the players have enough unfulfilled marks. If a player takes a mark this way, skip right into I learned.
By the way, the war.
And again,
no, the Princess Cyanide figured it out. The war happened because someone shot the Archduke Ostrich.
Oh, that's how it happened.
Major complication 1 to 6.
Did the child shoot the Archduke?
Yeah. Complication, minor complication, whoopee success. Woo. Let's move on.
Prompts.
The wizard.
Round. The only thing you can do, wizard, is defend your home from direct assault. How do you do this? Round 2. Surrender your humanity for the power.
Because that's literally what happened in Hal's Moving Castle. Fuck you.
Who do you think of as you make the decision to transform? Well, obviously, I think of my mom and dad. Obviously, I'm running for my family, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna miss them.
No, I got it. Here's what you think of. You think of the half-eaten ham sandwich you didn't have the opportunity to finish before the final battle. I'm sorry, I won't be able to finish you brioche rolled ham and cheese sandwich.
No, that's your motivation for going on. You gotta have that delicious ham sandwich.
Beyond your understanding. So does that mean as a small child I can make a pact with Satan? Can I summon? Can I do 666?
Well, remember, you do have a demon working with you. You can make a pact with it.
Oh my god! Just like Shimmick's.
Anyway, everyone else gets these wonderful things. Leap foolishly into danger. Scramble to deal with damage done to the home. Keep the family from panicking. Repel attacks. Meddle with forces beyond your comprehension.
That makes someone feel better, and this is what you can do. Here's all of the things.
Do you like how that last one is sandwiched right in between all those feel goods? Like, you meddle with forces beyond your understanding.
So, foolishly leaping into danger, you're gonna jump and fight with him. Scramble to deal with damage. You're trying to fix the house, keep the family from panicking. Basically, just trying to keep morale. Repel an attack. Well, yeah, you gotta stop the airships. Meddle with forces beyond your misunderstanding. So you just start randomly using items or making deals with monsters.
Or the demon.
Yeah. And then last but not least, you could do the anime, you're better than this trope.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you.
Something like that. I don't know.
Resolving threads.
Oh, and here's literally the Mass Effect ending part where you count up all your good
Oh my God,
boy
you're right.
girl
It
points.
It is the Mass Effect ending.
You count up all the good boy points.
Fuck.
Did you qualify for the good ending?
Did you get enough war score in order to beat the Reapers, Shepard?
Did you get enough war score to get all of the land from that kingdom that just turned Christian to fuck you out of your land title grab?
Total number of marks. Include the total hit marks, yada yada. Players will determine a plot thread to resolve by selecting a thread and frame a brief moment in which the thread is resolved. As an ending mode of a movie, you can create your own.
This is a table talk game. Ending montage of a movie.
This is so yeah, like you don't even see this shit happen on screen. Like it just says, oh yeah, this happens.
Meddle with forces beyond your understanding. Start drinking the potions from under the wizard's kitchen sink.
Here's an idea. Let's look at the ideal ending and the most unideal ending by this game's standards.
Oh, sure.
Resolved. The pact is broken. The wizard regains their human form. The cursed spell is weakened. Or the cursed spell is broken. The war ends quickly. Not many people die. The wizard and curse declare, regardless of anything, the wizard and curse declare their love. The home is restored and improved. The enemy's grudge they make peace with their enemy. Now let's look at the worst possible ending. The pact is never broken, so the demon still is your soul. The wizard is stuck as a horrible monster. The spell that transformed the curse is never reversed. The war drags on for a year. Many people die. They still declare their love for each other. The home is never restored and still broken piece of shit. And the enemy will forever try to catch you.
Yeah, don't you like how basically the unresolved ending is still awful? Like he said, there's a happy ending. I don't think there is.
And by the example thing, it's the case of a giant fucking dragon and love between him and his furry companion.
Also, on top of that, even if they declare their love, they say many casualties and great destruction. What's to fucking prevent them from all being dead by the end of that war?
Well, because the book demands they live.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I could do a fucking 360 double backflip from the top of the tower to intentionally try to land on my neck to instantly explode.
The narrative says you live. The narrative says you live.
So you
what?
So
this is awful.
My body. I jump 180 feet from the top of the giant communist block crawling baby like
and for these threads here, it's literally you don't even get to be creative. It just tells you what happens if you get the points.
Wow.
Yep. Isn't that trash?
Aftermath. When all threads are resolved, the story's over.
That's terrible.
And that the last bit is just a giant extended sample of play.
Fuck that.
When done, and on page 26 of the PDF is the big kiss.
Here's your big kiss. This is the thing intentionally done.
Your big gay disaster.
This is the thing intentionally designed to make the Twitter people defend you. You show this on one panel. But by the way, I think what's the more cringe thing? The small child thinking disgusting thoughts to rationalize nonsense, or Birdman lady and the slime doing the high five like, yeah, we did that.
We did it. Yeah, always, we did it.
Small child is happy to
Oh, and remember, people pay $22,000.
Oh, by the way, if you think we're done, we're not. There's a section.
Wait. Hold on, Adam. They did what?
Oh, well, you see, this made a Kickstarter goal of $22,000 and some extra hundreds.
Out of 13K.
22,000?
22,000.
This?
Yeah, look. Yeah, here, I'll post the link.
They asked for 13K.
This is why I'm convinced us Dice Scummers could actually make a product and have it release and actually sell some fucking units in the RPG community.
By the way, I'm just going to say this. A fool and their money are always parted. When the game is done, because yes, there's a section for what you do after the game.
Oh, fuck off.
Because this game has the potential to be, I'm literally going to read this. Depending on how you play, Our Traveling Home has the potential to be deeply emotionally affecting.
By the way, before you continue into this...
yeah.
Come on, let me read Princess Cyanide's quote. Do these people require helmets to go outside?
Yeah.
No, but they act like they do.
I'm gonna finish my line. I think this book needs to be arrested for self-masturbation in public.
It needs to be arrested for nonsense.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing about the art on 126. For all their bragging about being a queer RPG, I like how it's still a man and a woman kissing.
No, that's a man.
That's a man.
It's
but it's a feminine. Yeah, but it's a feminine-looking man.
Well, you see what happened
They're still reinforcing the gender binary.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
My logic may fail. Good job.
You're not wrong, especially given that they made the wizard the clear twink out of the two.
Anyway, I'm just gonna read this because this is. This is just, like I said, it's self-masturbatory. After a deeply affecting roleplay experience.
Are you sure it's self-masturbating, Greg? Because it might just be, oh fuck, I need to add a few more pages to justify why this.
I know, but it's doing it in the most self-congratulatory way possible. It's like, this game was so intense, you may not be able to break out of character.
This is
literally what they talk about.
This is more delusional than Derek. And Derek wrote Chalt with the belief that he's a many tentacled god of his own setting.
There's literally a section about how we have to now separate ourselves from our characters.
This is what Jack Chick warned us about. No, not Blackleaf. Oh, my character died! Oh, I can't go on!
Does that mean, like, the person who plays the wizard, if they're stuck as the dragon thing forever, they start mutilating their face to put scale scars on them?
Take a break is literally what it says. Take a break, so there's no point going in
Touch grass.
Debrief. Talking about all you've experienced can be good and fun way of processing. This is why I start by getting people to briefly say what they most need to say at one time, then move on to an unstructured conversation where everyone has a turn. How is it unstructured if everyone has a turn?
I think it's like you pass this talking stick around for like a pass, and then you just go into anarchy.
Facilitator, make sure people know how to contact you afterwards, because they definitely want to game with you after this.
Why does no one want to talk to me ever again after I show this book to them?
Here's my email. I hear about you and your safety, and if anything comes up we'd like to talk about, get in touch.
Guys, it's been like a month. Please respond.
I'm so alone.
Like you tried to solicit one of them for sex. Because you're a lovely weirdo.
It's now. Do we even have? Can we stop here at acknowledgements, or should we read off their?
No. I want to read a couple of insulting things. Mm-hmm. Our Traveling Home was heavily inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli's many movies. No, it isn't.
Randall, you weren't there for that. This book was both made from a hack of a Japanese system and inspired by the Apocalypse.
Nothing in this is original at all. He literally stole everything.
Wow.
It feels like massive amounts of fucking fraud.
But you know what? At the same time, I gotta give the guy credit for just the sheer chutzpah.
I don't think it's credit. I think it's just a testament to how easy it is a gay person and their money are parted.
Yeah.
There's a reason why entertainment constantly appeals to you, dummies. You keep flinging money in the stupid hope that it makes you feel better.
Well, for the ones who have disposable income. A particular influence of this game were Ponyo, Spirited Away. Studio Ghibli.
Anime was a mistake.
In terms of designing, I designed this game off of Dream Askew by Avery 80 and Stew Pop by Takeda Okotaida.
Translation, I stole all the mechanics from both of them.
I borrowed heavily from Dream Askew's gender options and community creation process.
I stole
while the structure
everything.
of the game and how it moves is heavily based on Stew Pot.
Stolen. No, it's not borrowed. It's stolen.
Steal? There was no fucking game here.
He stole it completely from Stewpot. Like, mechanically, this is stolen from Stewpot verbatim.
Oh, wait, Stewpot, I'm finally remembering now that I read the description. It's a game about retired fantasy adventures. Yeah, it's a game about retired fantasy adventurers banding together to run a tavern.
Yeah, it's slice of life.
Yeah.
He stole every element from that, especially for Act 1. All of the Act 1 scenarios, I'm pretty sure, were Stewpot ones. This is legitimate fraud.
Read this. Our traveling home is a subject of a longer, much more unwieldy title suggested by Friesen that still perfectly fits my needs. More general thanks to that name for formative influence on how I design anything powered by the apocalypse.
In translation, Bronwyn's like, you can't just call it Moving Castle because you're literally going to be sued to shit.
Playtesters, thanks. Yeah. Additional playtesting, blah. And lastly, thanks to my fantastic editor. Yeah.
Playtesting my ass. I don't think any of them fucking play.
Appendix, one-shot play. And there's this appendix for how. What if you want to do? What if you can't? What if you know for a fact that no one's going to return? You can only get one chance to do this.
So yeah, that's really bad.
It is cut over because of the PDF they attach at the beginning. But we're not doing that because fuck this. Fuck this.
I think a story just raped me.
No, you raped something. You raped the audience, remember, with your mic.
So, I rated it True Namer not even halfway through. What do you guys give it?
I rate this not worth the alcohol I consumed.
I'm not even gonna give the funny haha better than sex rating. This is literally a fuck you in human form if I've ever seen it.
Oh, the old Spill Crew review ratings.
This is literally fuck you. No, this game.
The only way I can say this is that you'd be able to get through this is with booze, and I say that the cost, that the little dribbling, like even with the most cheap booze out there, it's still not worth the sacrifice.
Look on page 130 in the additional playtesting assistance. There's a familiar name there.
All right.
It's second from the bottom.
Willie Gregory Brooklyn?
No.
Sophie Kaplan?
April Kit Walsh.
Ah.
Author of Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Oh, you're fucking right.
God! It's all coming together!
Oh, man.
Well, okay, so what you're saying is the reason why we got all these shitty RPG games is because we got an Illuminati cabal of retards out here trying to turn everything gay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. Who helps seed your game easiest? The people that you make friends with. You see the same thing in the OSR movement. Fun fact, if you ever want to go on a wild rabbit hole, look at the people Derek regularly communes with. Because I can name at least 3 people that constantly connect with and try to sell each other's work. Very common. There's a reason why they do all those jams.
To say for the record again, I honest to God believe if we all tried and pulled our thoughts and resources together, I honest to God believe we could get something and have it released and have it sell online units for fuck's sake. I honest to God believe this.
Very possible.
Amount of units sold, doubtable, but I would say it'd be not that hard to make something.
I'm not going to say it's like I'm not going to say like bajillions of units, but at least enough to make a profit.
Now, here's the real thing for me, the crew, you. Well,
Right.
should next come the recording of Chalt that we've been dreading releasing, or should we do something good?
Why don't we let the audience decide? Audience, press 1 if you want us to get off our ass and finally finish what we were recording. Press 2 for something else. Let's see those comments now.
Yep, because honestly, the only reason I haven't gotten around to it is I think I just needed something to mentally kick myself towards it.
Well,
Adam,
you know what?
Let me tell you, cat milk.
Adam,
I'm gonna be honest. This book I hate more than the part of Chalt we read over. I hate Chalt in general more, but that part, traveling home, is just a bit more hateable as a whole than that one section we read over.
Adam, don't forget to shield that Discord for all our people in here.
It's already in the script.
It actually isn't. I forgot. Don't worry though. At the end of the stream, I will add the link into the description to our Discord. And oh god damn it, I'm gonna have to crack open that. Great, I have to hear cat milk all over again.
Thank you, Princess.
Yeah, that sucked. See ya, everyone. I'm gonna need to crack open that wine casket to fucking get around.
You enjoy our suffering.
This was in fact not even a bittersweet ending. This is an evil ending. This is where everybody dies. In fact, I wish I was dead.
Truly, this is the darkest timeline. Anyway, see you guys. God damn it, I have to edit.